Oh, hey, how you doing, guys? This is Mo over here at the Zigzag Room. Well, if you notice, I changed my name to Seeds of the Future 2020. Before I begin, could you please do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. I have to start off by saying I apologize that I missed last week. I was under the weather. The asthma and stuff is acting up. But today's topic is a great one. And I had so many different mixed reviews on it. The question was, how do you feel about your 16-year-old child smoking in your household? I was very surprised by some of the responses. And I understand on both sides what the parents are saying. I'm not here to judge anybody because who am I? I had some parents say to me that they would rather their child smoke at home because it's safe. It's safer for them. They know where they at. They know what they're doing. And they don't have to worry about the police. And I understand those things because how things are now, we have to worry about the police. We have to worry about going to jail, being a statistic in society because how the world is set up for us to fail. I had some parents tell me that I'd rather know what my child is doing so that they don't have to sneak around. They can be free and not scared to tell me anything, which is great because you want that type of relationship with your child or children. Then I had some parents tell me, hell no. My child is not doing no type of drugs in my house. I am not being their friend. I am their parent. Then I had some, I don't smoke. There ain't nobody else gonna be smoking in my house. Then I had one lady, and I'm going to have her, she's doing a video for me on this later. But I loved her response, and it made me think. She said, how the hell am I going to allow my 16-year-old child to smoke and I know? I want my child to be successful. I want my child to do something with themselves. How the heck they gonna get a job if they got dirty urine? And you know what? She's right. So what does we as parents have to do? Well, we have to communicate and talk with our children. We have to let them know the importance of not being a statistic, not being a follower and getting caught up in the fads. Because you watch videos, you see a lot of the peers, the songs. Make it like smoking weed is real cool. So kids, they get caught up in a lot of stuff that they're not really ready for. And it become a habit. And it's not their fault when they're not being educated on the matter. We have to tell them about drugs. We have to tell them about alcohol. We have to talk to them about sex. We, as parents, have to discuss these things with our children first Remember, you are the first line of defense. You don't want your children going to their friends, their little homies, their partners, whatever they want to call them, and get advice. You want to arm your children with knowledge and facts. You want your children to have a good job. See, me personally, now that I'm older, I don't want my daughter to have a good job. I want my daughter to have a business. But I also know how society is set up for people like us to fail. And I want the best for my child like I want for yours. We have to elevate our babies to a different level. Let them know of the traps that they're setting for us. We have to. Now, just so happen you allow your child to smoke. You say it's okay. What happens when he go run his mouth and be like, yo, my mom, my dad, cool. They let me smoke and they get into the wrong ear. Now you have an ACS case. Then you have to think logical. If you open the door to allow your children to smoke, what rules are you laying down? Are you telling them they can't bring anybody to the house and smoke? Can they only smoke when you're home? Is it to be your secret? How is it going to work? How can you control that? Because a lot of kids, a lot of people can't hold water. You have to think of all the problems that you could face. We're not here to be our children's friend. We're here to guide them. We're here to teach them that they can do anything that they put their mind to. And you want the best for them. And when you open up that line of communication and build that bond between you and your child, they'll listen to you a little bit more. I'm not saying your child is not going to go out there and do it. But should we make it easier for them to do? I don't think so. You know, their brains is not capable to function like that on drugs. You know, people probably say, because, oh, I bet you smoke. Well, guess what? I'm grown. I don't have nobody supporting my habits. If you smoke, you're grown. You don't have anybody supporting your habit. But when your 16-year-old smoke, are you supporting their habit? The streets supporting their habits? Or are they friends supporting their habit? That's why it's your job. And everybody around you, because guess what? We're one unit. And if we unite, we're dangerous. We have to watch out for each other. Remember it says it before, back in the day, it says it takes a community to raise a child. It does. Everybody's not fortunate to have a two-parent home. Some parents are single and they have to work. So if you see little Susie, little Johnny or whatever doing something, why don't you try to talk to them? Build up a relationship with these children. that they might confide in you and they can trust in you, and they're actually listening to what you say. There's going to be some who be like, oh, I don't got to listen to that, you know. But guess what? We all been there where we thought we knew everything. But as parents, it's our job to instill great morals and values in our children. Let our children know you don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be an athlete. You can be an architect. You can be an electrical engineer. You can be a judge. You can be an owner of many businesses, a real estate investor. There's so many opportunities. You just got to focus. And my job is to guide you and show you. Teach you how to make it in this world. You know, what is his name? President Trump. He says, make America great again. My slogan is, let's make America great. America was built on our backs, on our sweat and tears. So that means we can rebuild this. There's all these properties and all these things out here. If we stop hating on one another, and come together, you know, we can have our own cities. Just like that family, them people who got that all that property in North Carolina. Yo, guess what? They're not the only ones who can do that. We can too. And we can show our children that everything that we want with hard work, a plan, and unity, we can get it. We got to arm our children with knowledge. You got to teach them how to farm. We need some doctors out there. Because we're going to have to raise up and lead our city. We can have our own. But if we're doing all this, we have to instill some value into our children so they can carry on when we're not here no more. Because we're not going to be here forever. You know, my mom used to say something to me when I was younger, and I didn't understand. She told me, she said, if you can't utilize your time wisely, I'm going to utilize it for you. That's a great analogy. You know why? Because if you, the parent, are utilizing your children's time, that means nobody in the street is. Talk with your children, sit down, politic with them. Ask them what they like. Start with them young and nurture it so they can evolve to a higher them. See, when you find things that children like, they tend to be more involved in it, and that's what they go after. You can't sit there and keep buying video games, technology things to entertain your child. We have to put some knowledge in their brain, man. We have to do what other people are doing. Arm them. Arm them with the skills, the knowledge, and let them know the same thing that they doing, we can do. We just got to take different avenues because how the world is set up, it set us up for failure. Y'all want to learn how to shoot? Go to the range, get your license. You know, we can level up the playing ground. If you want to be into pharmaceuticals, guess what? There's colleges that teach you how to do those things. Be a grow, but be your own boss. Have your own mind. Don't follow the crowd. Follow your dreams. Those are the things that we need to teach our children. You know, all parents, you get stressed out, and I get that. And it's hard, and I know it's hard, especially when you're doing it by yourself. A lot of people be in relationships and they break up, they separate. And the sad part is they tend to divorce the child too. Fathers, your daughters need you. Your sons need you. Mothers, your daughters need you. Your sons need you. If we don't take a stand, we're going to be like the dinosaurs, extinct. They're trying to get rid of us, and they're doing it at a high speed. Our children are killing one another. We, the parents, we, the community, have to unite and help save them. Find some program. Find some programs. If it isn't any, create some. If any of y'all have any ideas, hit me up. Let's build. Let's stop talking about the problem and let us be a solution. I'm telling you, it's a lot of things going on right now. And if we're not ready, we're getting left behind. Well, my coughing and stuff is starting to come back. But do me a favor. Subscribe to my channel. Give me some feedback on what you think. If you don't like it, tell me. If you do, tell me. But say something. Let me know that my seeds are not falling on fertile ground. I want to make a difference, even if it's for one person or if it's 1 billion people. I want to save one child. Would you join my hand and help me level our children up? Because guess what? Our babies are the future generation. They're the seeds of the future. Black Lives Matters. Our babies matter. And it's up to you to make the difference.
if you let a child overcross boundaries, it gives them the mentality for them to do whatever the hell they want to do. That level of respect that you're supposed to give a mom, you're supposed to give your dad, grandma, a family member, anybody that's older than you or someone that you know is there, that's there supporting you, that level of respect is completely gone. And there's no right way to be a parent, there's no wrong way to be a parent. But in my head, a parent is supposed to provide, protect, guide, and provide. And that's exactly what the hell I'm doing as a single mother. If I don't smoke or drink in my household, I'm damn sure not condoning it in my house. When you reach of age to get out my house, baby, by all means, do what you gotta do. Like, bye. But until you in my house, you following my rules under my roof, because I'm heading command. I pay the cost to be the fucking boss.
Good morning. My name is Evie, and I'm here to answer the question about allowing your 16-year-old child to smoke in the house. Before I answer that question, let me just tell you, I've been smoking weed since I was 23. I am currently 52 years old, and my children have grown up with me smoking weed. By that question, I would tell you, I would feel like a really hypocrite not letting my children smoke. I did tell my oldest son, who is a bad asthmatic, when you turn 16 and you want to try weed, you let me know and I will roll a blunt and you can smoke it in the house. Being an asthmatic, I was afraid that if he wanted to smoke, whether I allowed it or not, he would do it with his friends. And being his first smoke, if he caught an asthma attack, then maybe his friends would worry, get scared, run off, and leave him alone. Whereas, if he smoked in the house, I can observe him, and I can watch him, and if anything went wrong, I would be there to handle it. This being said, my second reason was I would feel like a hypocrite if I tell my children they can't smoke. It would be doing as I say and not as I do. On that note, my son is now 32. He's an avid member of the community. He's a general manager for Starbucks, and he's a great man overall. So no, I do not regret my decision as a mother. Thank you.
Topic came up as a question that somebody had asked me. Would you allow your children to smoke marijuana underneath your household? And I know there's a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different opinions about it. I guess for my perspective, I personally don't agree with smoking marijuana. I do know that that's my decision. So I don't think that as much as I will try to tell my kid don't smoke marijuana, I can't 100% guarantee that that's what they're going to decide to do. I do know that because that's not because of something I don't agree with, I can tell my child 1,000 times don't do it, and I've been a child before and I've still done it. So I do know that I would feel more comfortable knowing that maybe not underneath my roof because I don't agree with it, but if they were going to a friend's house and that parent was okay with them smoking, I would be okay if I trusted that parent. I just don't want marijuana in my household. Now, let's ask Chinky how Chinky feels about this subject. How do you feel, Chinky? You have children.
I would prefer them not smoking, but I'd rather them be smoking under my own roof, so I know they're safe. And I started as an adult smoking, but that was in care of a midwife when I was pregnant because I had hyperemesis, where you're vomiting the entire pregnancy, and I was ending up in the hospital 3 to 4 times a week getting 3 IV bags minimum to dehydrate myself and getting nutrition. So on that point, I never felt so good in my life. I didn't do it the entire pregnancy. I did it maybe 3 times. and I was able to eat for an hour, and it felt good for an hour, and that was about it. I took enough to take the edge off the pregnancy, the nausea and vomiting. But yeah.
So do you think that if your child, let's say they have like ADHD or they're having a hard time focusing, and marijuana was an alternative way to focusing and improving their academic grades, would you approve of them smoking in your presence?
Actually, the CBD, I would do the CBD oils first, because my oldest is autistic and ADHD, and my daughter and my youngest son are being diagnosed as ADHD with behavioral problems. So that would be an option for me, and they would have a medical card for that.
So now when it comes to involving your children's friends and them smoking underneath your roof, how do you approve of that?
I would actually talk to the parents first.
Oh, so it wouldn't be just my mama said so.
No. I don't believe children, because children will lie about that. No child is perfect, and they will lie. Sorry. I'm calling your parents and seeing if they're okay and comfortable with that, where they're safe and they won't be allowed to leave. The car keys will be taken.
And will this be like a Kumbayabador every day?
No. Nope. Not during school. Not during school. Maybe on the weekend. That's it. And it's not going to be an all night, all day thing.
And will you be supplying this reefer to your children?
If I have it, I would prefer getting the medical grade, where I know it's not going to be laced with something that could end up potentially killing them.
I think when it comes to smoking, consuming, anything that you decide to do, I think that it's always a great time for an educational talk. The pros, the cons. I mean, obviously, where I grew up, everybody I knew smoked, and I was the only one. I kind of did feel like the oddball, but I just knew it wasn't something for me. I always believe that telling my friends, what you choose to do as your habit is your decision, but do not let it affect me. And a lot of my friends respected that, and I think that's something that people who choose to smoke or choose not to smoke should understand, that what they choose to do is their decision, and they should be cautious of what they choose to do in terms of other people. So if you're choosing to smoke and you're bringing reefer to somebody's house and you don't know where you got it from, that's going to impact other people who are smoking. So you need to be cautious of where you're getting your product from and how that's going to affect others. And then I had a boyfriend one time. He always told me, he said, I never understood why kids would skip school just to get high, even when their moms allowed them to get high in their household. He said, my education shouldn't be diminished because I want to get high, because I can get high any other time, but my education should be my priority at all times. And I always thought about it when I've always seen he would see his friends skip, and he said, no, I could smoke in the morning on my way to school, and I could smoke when I get out of school, but I don't need that to impact my education. And that's something that I think is a priority, and also I don't think there's nothing wrong. If you want to sit there and you want to smoke, I think that is a good opportunity to teach the kids to grow what they're smoking. If that's going to be the case, at least get something out of it. If you're smoking or you're choosing to do whatever you choose, learn how to make an income out of it, effectively, positively, legally, or learn how to get a trait out of it, something that can carry you forward in life. Well, that's what I have to say. Me and Miss Chinky are off the clock.